Indiana Jones. It's inspiring to me. He's just an inspiring joker.
A lot of that, if not all of it, has to do with talking. And you were saying that you realized early in life, like, the power of your words. Do you know, like, a moment or like a situation where that was clear?
Oh man, that's a great question. You know, I was thinking the other day about how I went on like some really early, like 11, 12, 13, I went on these like missions trips, you know, with my church and youth group and whatever. And I experienced, like, we would go out on the streets and just talk to people and did a bunch of crazy things. But I remember the power, you know, like early on, like that young, connecting with, you know, some street people and people who really were hurting, and all of a sudden, just encouraging them, just being there with them, for them, and I remember being super impacted. You know, it wasn't even about. It's not even necessarily about my words. I remember, actually, it's funny, I'm just putting this together now, kind of, but I remember so I was 13, and it was right before the riots, the Rodney King riots downtown LA. So we were in LA, and it was like a day or two before the riots happened, and we went downtown at like crazy, you know, middle of the night, with these two big 15-passenger vans full of people and kids and, you know, whatever, all ages. And we go downtown LA, and we had, I don't know, soup and all these, you know, blankets and stuff, and we're honking the horns. It was wild. It was wild. So all these people in the streets that are living on the streets come out and to us in these vans, and we open up the doors and start feeding people, and everyone just kind of was like just talking to people. And I remember, I'll never forget, I was talking to this guy named Walter, who was living, he had this big ring, and he lived in this box on the street, you know, and I was like, what, this guy's living on the street? And we were just talking to him and feeding him and whatever, hanging out. And anyway, we're about to take off, and I had just never seen that kind of poverty, or that kind of, you know, people living like this. And we're about to take off, and this guy bangs on the window. He's got a shopping cart, and he bangs on the back window. And I didn't hit puberty, right, until I was like 17, 18. So like at 12, I was like the size of this microphone, right? So he bangs on the window. He says, "Hey, have you got any more blankets?" And so I'm sitting in the very back, and I was like, "Hey, have we got any more blankets?" I yell up to the front, and nobody, you know, "No, we're all out. Like, we gave everything away. We have nothing left." And this full grown man, you know, a full decent sized man. And my mom had just bought me this brand new sweatshirt at Costco, you know, before we left for the trip. And I was like, "Oh, so I take off this sweatshirt, and we couldn't open the back, and so the little window in the back of the 15-passenger van, you know, crack that open, and I like jam this little sweatshirt through there, and this man puts it on, and he puts it on, and it's like, you know, oh, you know, it's a long sleeve sweatshirt, right, and it comes up to like here on him, and fits him kind of like this jacket fits me. And he's like, "Oh, it's perfect." And I'll never forget that look in his eyes. Like, he was just like so happy. And I realized, like, whoa, I just was able to give him something. Like, it cost me something, but he was so grateful. Like, I learned so many lessons in that one little 30-second interaction, and I started just bawling. And I remember that moment. I just turned to the people next to me, and I was like, "I promise this is what I'm going to commit my life to. Like, this is what I have to do." And so it wasn't necessarily about encouraging him with my words, but it was encouraging people with who I am, with what I'm about. So it just happened to be, the practical element of that happened to be a sweatshirt that I had on. But that's really, I think, that was a big clicking moment for me where I was like, I need to do this. Like I'm here on this planet to encourage people, to believe in people, or to be with them and give what I have.